Welcome back to Introduction to Engineering Design. This is Module 7.2, and we've got our drill block made and named and saved. So here's our drill block. There's the model of my drill block. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to make a fully dimensioned drawing out of this and display the cutting plane AA. So let's get rolling on that. As you remember, to make a drawing out of an open part, we'll click on File, Make Drawing from Part, browse to where our template is on the C drive. Under IED 41, IED templates, and our landscape template. From here, let's go ahead and choose our front view. Click, drag, and drop it in. We're not going to do any other projections because we're going to do a sectional view. So let's drop this in the model where it's convenient. Let's use a scale of 1 to 1. And there we are scaled. Now across the top of our tab, you can see that we've got a few, top the cross of our menu bar, we've got a few different commands here, tabs. View layout is what we're going to be working in. And you'll see I've got model view, projected view, auxiliary view, section view. That's what we're going to work on. We're going to work on a section view right now. So in the section view palette, I can either do a section view or a half section view, and you'll see the icons look different. We're going to deal with a section view, and we're going to do a cut either vertically or horizontally. So let's go ahead and do a horizontal cut. There's some nice instructions here. And you'll notice that when I have this horizontal cut, as I drag this in, I can drag it up and down, and it will click and align to different features if I want to. I'm going to choose the midpoint of the drawing, just like it's shown in the instructions, and drop it. Select my check mark for OK. Now, you'll notice that when I do that, I get that A symbol, the cut line, facing up, and I get an auxiliary view that drops down below. I can't pull it off to the side, and I'll show you how to fix that here in a second if you want to move it. Now, you'll notice now that I have my sectional view depicted, and I can flip the direction of the arrows. So I flip these the opposite way. I can also change this number designation or letter designation. I'll make it B. You'll see a change in the drawing, back to A. A few other options that I can do here that we're not going to talk about right now with display states and things like that, and parent styles. So now I've got my sectional view here, and I mentioned that I can't move it around, it stays aligned, and that's because the width attributes across my front view transfer directly to my sectional view, which I've placed below it. So the center of this line continues to fall down. Well, let's say you wanted to move it for some reason. The way that you break that association, it's called an alignment, is I right-click on the section that I want to realign, click on alignment. You can see that I want to break alignment. Once I break alignment, I can now move this wherever I want. There's nothing necessarily sacrosanct about having these aligned, and you'll see in more complex plans, these will be put off on separate pages and separate views. So this is just a way to do that. Now, if I want to reestablish alignment, I right-click again, alignment, and this time I'm going to go ahead and align horizontally by the origin, and I'll click on the other drawing. Oops, did that backwards. I want to actually align it vertically. Align vertical by origin, click on the other drawing, and now it's aligned. And I can't move it again. So we'll leave it that way for now. Okay, now dimensioning this is very much the same way that we did before. We're going to click on the annotation, and we're going to start to dimension this. Now you'll notice that my holes all came in from my hole wizard with center marks, which is kind of handy. And now I'm just going to go ahead and click on my dimensions. You'll see that I get 0.75, and that's doesn't really describe that full hole, does it? So let's go ahead and delete that. And let's look at what we can do for callouts. And one of the callouts that we can do is we can do what our whole callout is here. So instead of in Smart Dimension, I'm going to come over here and I'm going to use my hole callout tool. And this is going to call out the details of each one of my holes. And you'll notice now that that's quite a bit clearer. And I'm going to call them out on the circle where they appear. Try and make this reasonably clear. So I'm going to drop them up here for now, and then I'm going to go ahead and drag this down. You'll notice that all those details showed up. And we'll talk about one detail that's not shown up. So that's my whole callout tool. Very, very handy. I'm going to drag this down so I can see this a little bit better. And maybe I'll go back to a scale here. It makes this a little easier for us to work in. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Continuing to use my whole callouts. Okay, now notice that we had the dimensioning on this, and I put in the drawing this tolerance right here, which was the plus or minus 0.002 on my half-inch through hole. You'll notice over here that I don't see that tolerance anymore. The reason is because I haven't changed my dimensional units down here in my drawing, and my default is two decimal places. As soon as I do that, you'll notice that that appears. You can't really do it the way that it is shown. Well, you could, but it wouldn't be worth the effort, and it would not make a lot of sense to change just this one dimension to 3 units. So it'd be very non-standard. So there we've got 3 units, and you should do that on your sample drawing. Now you'll notice that I've got size. What I'm missing now are locations. So let's go ahead and dimension for my locations. And I'm going to go ahead and dimension it exactly the way that the drawing that was created made it. So in other words, I'm going to go from a chain dimensioning. And as we remember, the problem with chain dimensioning is you have a tolerance stack up as you go across this particular chain. Done dimensioning. Let me fix my scale one more time, and I'm going to go, instead of 1 to 1, I'm going to go a 2 to 3. That probably will be a happy medium. So there I've created a full sectional view of my drawing. I've showed you how to use the whole callout right here, this handy feature, and it brings all the details in from my whole wizard into my drawing. I've also showed you how to make a association with your sectional view and how to break that association and move it around somewhere else on your drawing. Well, that's Module 7.2, question number 6. Thanks for watching.